Hello, welcome to the Keep It Simple Paper Crafts YouTube channel. My name is Maureen and I am going to be demonstrating a card kit for you today called Life is Sweet. This is in honor of World Card Making Day. So if you're joining us live when this event launches, we are so glad you're here. Let's go ahead and craft together and make some cute kits. Okay, go ahead and grab your Life is Sweet kit if you're playing along with us. If not, just go ahead and watch. But as you're crafting with us, if it's World Card Making Day and it is the live time of the event, the launch of the event, you can comment along with us as we craft for a chance to win a gift card. So make sure you comment and give us your love and your opinion all the way through the video during the time of the event. If you're watching this on replay, you won't be eligible for the gift card, but you will be eligible to walk away with a couple cute cards that you made yourself. Okay, I'm showing you some of the items that are in the kits. And so in each kit, as we said before, the kits come with 2 full and complete cards and plenty of extras left over. So I have pulled aside all of my pieces of paper, the foam and acetate, and then I like to separate my bits out into little ramekins so I can see them. And so I'm showing you some of the different options you have that come with the kits as well. And so we've got little words and little buzz lines. We've got adorable bees and some really cute flowers. And then we have some very funny, or should I say punny, sentiments to go along with them. And a couple cupcakes too. So you can make any style of card you want, whether you want to do birthday, thinking of you, etc. But most importantly, you've got the cute polymer clay sprinkles that come with this kit, and you've got more than enough to make 2 cards plus. In fact, you'll have some bits left over that you'll be able to probably make an extra card or 2. Okay, so you have 2 tent fold cards that come with the kits. And if you look at the front of the kits, you can see that you have options to decorate both the outside and inside parts of the card. Now, what I'm doing right now is taking the card tents the way they were delivered to me, and I'm actually folding them in on themselves because the inside pattern is going to be the inside of the card. You're going to decorate the outside part of the card with the shaker filler that you got, and so this will also allow a little extra surprise for your recipients by having some design on the inside. So go ahead and grab one of the panels that you want to use. I'm going to start with the one with the blue background sky, and I think I'm going to follow the design on the front of the card for the first one pretty closely. So we're going to make the beehive card that's on the front of the image from your packets. And I'm choosing the blue gridded paper as well. That'll be the front of my card. So pick your panels, pick your papers, whatever, brings you joy. And let's go ahead and get these assembled. You've got lots of frames that come with this. And there's lots of frame action going on in this particular card kit. I am going to use the 2 yellow ones because they coordinate so nicely with the blue. Okay, now make sure you find the foam pieces that go along with the card you're trying to make. So I'm going to start with the rectangle-sided foam piece. If you'll notice in the foam piece, there are actually 2 frames per piece, plus an inner insert. And so just make sure that your frames line up nicely with whichever foam piece you're going to use. So I'm going to use the rectangle one. And I am going to set aside those pieces for a second and adhere the front panel to my card. Now, I don't know about you, maybe you can tell me in the comments, but what kind of adhesive do you all like to use? I certainly like, I like them all, but I certainly like a wet glue with a really thin needlepoint tip. Really helps me get the glue on placement, but adhesive's a very personal choice. The good news is whether you like wet or dry, you can make a shaker card with either. So this will be the time to get out your favorite adhesive and just craft along with. Okay, I have glued the panel to the front. Sometimes there might be an extra edge depending on how far down you glued it. But if you want to trim that off, you can. I did pretty good on that one, so I don't think I'll need to trim anything. Next, I'm going to just sort of lay out, before I stick it down, lay out my foam and make sure that it fits my card. So you'll notice, again, with the two, there's the ability to peel off the adhesive backing on both frames and the inner side. So here's a tip for you. I am actually going to show you a trick I like to use, which is I'm only going to pull off the adhesive back to the outer part of the frame. What this is going to allow me to do is stick it down without sticking down the middle pieces. And this gives me good placement in case I do need to pull it off quickly because I've put it on wrong. It also helps me keep the shape better for my card. Now, sometimes you'll make a shaker card and you'll find that there's some peekaboo foam sticking out. And so this is a good way to do it. So what you do is after you peel that adhesive off and stick it down, take sort of a pick tool or a toothpick or something and gently pull on the foam to get that inner piece out of the frame. And now you'll notice it has kept its shape really nicely and it doesn't get all warped. Later on then, when I go to lay the frame down on it, I'm going to be able to match everything up nicely, as you'll see here in a moment. So this extra piece of foam, don't put it aside too much yet. We're going to still use it with the acetate, but just put it aside right now because I need to put my picture on the inside. This allows me to also line up the picture better than I would if I was putting the foam over it. So again, just a tip, take it or leave it. It certainly has worked well for me to keep everything in its shape and not have any peekaboo corners. So you'll notice that this will fit really nicely in the inside, and it also is a test run to make sure everything lines up properly. And sure enough, my little journal card fits in really nicely here, the little beehive. So cute. I love it already. I love it, and I haven't even added shakers yet. Okay, now you can take out the inner insert piece. Now this is an extra piece of foam, and this is great to save for all of those other projects you have where you want to pop something up. So don't ever throw out your foam. Make sure you use it again because that's what we crafters do. We use every piece of the goodness, don't we? All right, now I'm not too worried about it getting out of shape because I already have a bumper that I can put the inner frame next to. So I didn't have to worry too much about this one. Just gonna slide it in at the top and stick it down. One thing I've noticed from the foam that comes with the kits and also the foam that you could buy on the website is it's super sticky. And this is an advantage because you want to make sure that none of your shaker bits are falling out of your card. So sometimes I do have to actually add a little extra glue, but in this case, I won't. All right, it's time to decide what's going to go on the inside of your card now. Now notice I have not pulled the top sticky part off yet. We're not going to do that until we're ready and we've got everything filled. So I've got my little paper bits and I've got my polymer clay bits, the little sprinkles that come with the package. Let's get this guy open because, oh my gosh, it's super cute. And let's just make sure we've got all of that goodness. Oh, sometimes there's some static cling. I'm going to show you in here in a little bit how we can deal with that static cling. Get what you need out of there. I do like to dump it out in a dish because sometimes I like to mix 2 or 3 sprinkle sets together. So this is a good way to see the sprinkle mix first before you put it in the card and commit to it. So, okay. So now we've got our goodness. I am going to take a spoon and also a dryer sheet. Now the dryer sheet trick will help keep or eliminate a lot of the static cling that happens with shaker cards. So I usually like to wipe my spoon with it, tap the foam, tap the sprinkles just to get some of the static off, okay? Next, we're gonna take our acetate sheets. So the acetate sheets that come with kits have a liner on them, just on one side. So you're going to need to figure out which side has the liner. And then you're going to take your pick tool and gently pull off that liner. Keep your thumbs and your fingers away from the middle of the acetate sheet as much as possible to eliminate the oils on your sheet from creating more sticking and more static, okay? Now, I've laid the acetate down on my dryer sheet. I want to caution you, if you're going to use a dryer sheet, please don't rub the sheet on your acetate. You'll be very disappointed because it makes scratches. So I just lay it very gently there to get rid of the static, or tap it, but I never rub it, okay? All right, let's go ahead and add some Collamer clay goodness to the inside of our card. What are you choosing? Are you picking apart some of the flowers, or are you putting all the goodness in there? Tell us in the comments. We'd love to hear from you, and hear if you're crafting along with us on World Card Making Day. Please let us know. Okay, I'm going to put some bumblebees in there as well, and maybe some phrases, a couple little bumblebee lines. So cute. When you're putting this in here, make sure everything is in a single layer laying flat so that it doesn't bump into the acetate later on. Make sure it's also laying forward facing and it hasn't flipped over on you. You can even give it a little shake. Give it a little test shake if you want. Okay, I think that's a good fill. I usually like to fill mine about 25, no more than 50%. I want it to have a good shake, so less is more in this case. Okay, now that we are making sure that all the bits are away from the sticky part, we're going to go ahead and gently pull off the backing to the middle frame only. This will allow us to stick down the acetate without it getting stuck to the other part of the card. Now, this is something you will want to commit to, so make sure all your static is gone first, and have you really lined it up before you lay it down, because it is pretty sticky and it's very hard to peel off later. You have some wiggle room. You have about 1/8 of an inch of a wiggle room, so if it's not exact, don't worry about it. You've got frames that are going over it as long as everything's covered and your bits don't fall out. So there you go. Your bits don't fall out. Oh my goodness. We don't want that happening. Okay, time to pick your frames if you haven't already. So I have picked the blue and the yellow frame, and now I'm going to peel that adhesive off the second frame on my card. And perfect. I don't even need any glue because I'm going to be able to stick this down right on top of it without having to glue it down. It's perfect. All right, line it up. I usually like to start from the top for some reason. So just line up the top, and then I just push down one side at a time. That way, if it gets off, I have a chance to recuperate and pull it back up if I need. Awesome. Okay, we have frame number 1 down. Now, frame number 2 is going to need a little bit of glue, and it's okay to use adhesive on acetate. You can use dry or wet adhesive, depending on what your preference is. Everybody has a preference, of course. And so this will work well. Just a thin line of glue. You don't need it too much because you don't want it oozing out from the middle. Okay. And again, because we did that little trick in the beginning, our frames are lining up perfect. Super adorable. I love it. All right, lay that down. Make sure it's stuck down really well. Everything's flat. Give it a little shake. Woohoo! How does it feel? Is it looking cute? Tell us. What's yours look like? How are we doing? Can we help you? Okay. Now it's time to decorate. This is probably the most fun part of the card, right? We get to decide how we're going to decorate the front, what sentiments we're going to use, and what kind of card we're actually making. I love these bumblebees. I could probably use them all on one card. I do love the sentiment buzzing by. I knew I wanted to use that one. And I'm going to maybe just because I might put that in the middle. Let's see if there's any other cuteness. All right. If I wanted to add a couple more bees, I could. I think I'm going to use the flowers. Let's add a couple flowers somewhere. Maybe some in the middle, some on the outside. That's completely up to you. All right, with the sentiment, there might be on occasion just little extra pieces in there. Just go ahead and poke them out. So if the cut didn't go all the way, that's what poking tools are for, right? You gotta love a poking tool, by the way. What is your favorite tool on your desk? Mine is the poking tool, honestly. Like whatever, I don't even know if that's the official term, but it does help me in many situations. Okay, I'm gonna put my sentiment probably about a quarter of the way up because I wanna be able to see both the beehive and also the sprinkles that are on the inside. I wanna be able to make sure I can see the good shaking sprinkles inside. Okay, buzzing by. We're laying that across. Give it a gentle press. And as you can see, I'm following along pretty closely with the first one. Follow the guide if you want, or make it your own. That's completely up to you. Where should we put these bumblebees? I want one in the corner. I think these faces are so cute. Who loves the bumblebees? Who's in love with bees? Gotta love them. Should we put the bees? What do you think? Actually, I'm going to change it up. I'm going to put flowers on the outside instead. And we're going to glue these down into the corner. Maybe we'll save the bees for the inside of the card. And then, you know what? Let's go ahead and use some of the extra foam. We can use it as a pop dot. So the good news is you've got all this extra to use. We're going to cut a little piece off and pop up the flower just to give the card a little more dimension. So these are little sticker backs. You just pull them off. Maybe just stick it on the back of your flower. And then pull that little sticker back. Love it. This is getting cuter by the second. Oh my goodness, who is popping up one of their elements on their card? Who's decided to do this? This is so cute. I love it. We are buzzing by. And now it's time to buzz into the middle of the card. And let's go ahead and decorate the inside. Again, this is what's great about these kits, because now you have just this extra surprise element of decoration on the inside of your card that you can add some extra goodness, bees, flowers, and so forth if you want. How many of you typically, when you make cards, decorate the inside of your cards? I know I don't do that very often. I'll be honest with you. I get done with the front and I'm good. But I have a lot of friends that decorate the inside. They decorate the envelopes. I mean, there's a lot of extra goodness in these kits that you could decorate envelopes too. Okay, let's add that sentiment to the middle. I think I'm going to put it in the middle. Yeah, I think that looks cute there. And then we'll just sort of decorate around it just because I can. We are almost done with card number 1. We're going to be moving on to card number 2 here soon. And let's go ahead. Let's see. How do we want these bees to fly around? It does match up to the bee lines on the card. So I think I'm just going to lay them up next to those lines that the bees make when they fly. Alrighty. He's a cutie. I love it. Life is sweet just because. Let's add that last flower, and then we are set with card number 1. Oh my gosh. The cuteness, and look how quickly that came together in a kit. Plus you've got one more card to make as well. What a great deal this is. Love it. You've got some extra bits to use for whatever you want to use for another card or a tag, or even decorating a bag. Your recipients are going to love this. And it's going to look professional. Better than professional. Okay, that was card number 1. So let's move on to card number 2. And go ahead and grab your tint fold over card and the extra pieces of paper. Remember, as you lay it out, because I like to work with a flat card when I'm working, that you're laying it out and you're not putting them on upside down. So double check where you're putting stuff. Now with the foam that comes with the second card, you'll notice, again, 2 frames, but with some pop-out sections. But let's go ahead and lay down our front panel first. You notice that I've got a little pucker in this piece of paper, and I was bummed at first when I saw it, but you know what? It was just a weird fold in the package. No one is going to see this because the shaker bits are going to go over it. So I'm just going to flatten this out with some glue best I can. And we're going to cover that up with all the sprinkles. All right. And then you've got your middle piece and you've got your foam. Let me show you the foam for a second because this one has 3 separate sections. And so I'm going to do very similar to what I did before, which is pull out that outside frame to be able to lay it down and then pop out the middles. But in this case, this time I want the second frame to go with it because I want it to hold its shape really well. I don't want any of those middle pieces to get out of shape. So I'm going to pull the second frame sticker back off too, and we're going to go ahead and lay this down. We'll lay that down approximately the middle. Adorable. And then once again, we can pop out those middle sections that we want using a pick tool. And what's really cool about this is these, you know what I like to use these for, some sentiments. I like to pop up a sentiment on a card, and this would be perfect size for that. So don't ever throw away your foam. Save it. Save it for another craft event. How many of you save all your extra foam bits from your shaker cards if you've made one before? I do for sure. I've got a lot of extra little pieces. Well, guess what happened, you folks? You didn't catch me in time. I forgot to put my middle. I forgot to put my middle in on the card. Oh, well. You know what? No one knows you made the mistake except you. So this is just opportunities to make another card. That's all I look at it as. Now, if I really wanted to, I could actually trace this rectangle and cut it out and then put them on the inside as inserts. That would work just fine. So if you make the mistake that I just did, you can go ahead and cut those pieces out. It's not a problem, instead of trying to peel the foam back off. So, but we're going to go ahead and leave it. And then let's see how we end up. This one, we're going a little more wing it. Wing it mode. Okay, grab your acetate. I have my dryer sheet again. Remember, we have to pull that one-sided backing off with a pick tool, just very gently from the corner is what I like to do. Find the edge. And then gently peel. Try not to get your fingers all over it. Keep your fingers on the edge of the acetate. In this case, I'm going to just flip it over because that's the staticky side, and gently let it sit on my dryer sheet till I'm ready for it. Remember, don't rub because we don't want scratches. What do you guys use for static? Those of you who've made shakers, what do you guys use for static? I know there are a lot of different tools out there that people like to use. Okay, it's time to fill the windows with some more polymer clay goodness. Let's see what we got. I'm going to put the clay on the bottom. I think I'm just going to put the bees flying up top this time. I don't know why. I'm just feeling it. Like the flowers should go on the bottom of the scene, right? And then the bees on top. Let's try it that way. And I make sure they're all facing the same way as you saw. I want to flip them all over so they're all facing, because once you put that acetate down, you can't fix it. So make sure everything's laying single layer, nothing sticking above the foam, and that we can see it. And then it's not sticking to the edge either, so we don't want that either. So, okay, it is time to peel off the backing. Now just on the middle frame again. We just want to do it on the middle frame. Pull that back gently so you don't accidentally pull any clay bits out. And if you do, if something gets stuck, make sure you fix it before you lay that acetate down. Using the side, very gently, get that extra static off. Maybe a little extra static on the front of the card. And we'll lay it up at the top. And then press it down. Just make sure it covers all the windows, that's all. It doesn't have to be perfect. You're going to cover it up with frames anyway. Give it a little shake for a try. All right. Cute. Did you get yours on? How's everybody doing out there? Are you putting your acetate on as well? All right. Now we're going to pull off the sticker backing for the second frame that we're going to lay down. Again, the advantage, don't have to use a lot of glue. Just going to lay this one down, make sure it lines up properly. And because, again, we kept its shape when we laid it down initially, we shouldn't have to do much adjusting. So I love how these kits just fit so perfect together. Cute. All right. It's looking cute. I love all the yellow. Yellow happens to be my favorite color. So sunshiny and cheery. All right, let's go ahead and glue up the second frame. Add this to the middle. You don't need a lot of glue. In fact, you don't want a lot of glue coming and oozing out underneath your acetate. So just a little line. That's why I like the needle nose. if you're using wet glue. And perfect. Now we've got a good shaking event. I love that these has 3 windows. Isn't that fun? You could do different designs in each window. That would be really cute too. What did you all put in the different windows when you decorated? Okay. Let's see. Punny sayings. What do I want to do? You know, I have enough sentiments. I could probably put 2 sentiments on the front. So let's lay it out and see how we feel. Maybe put 1 at the top and 1 at the bottom. Let me see how this goes. I want to be able to see all the goodness inside the windows, so I'm going to put that one right there. I don't know that fills out the card good enough for me. I think I could do a B. And so if you're not sure, just lay it out first before you glue, right? Just test it out. And I forgot that we had these bigger pieces. Let's go ahead and put a cupcake. I'm going to put a cupcake on the front. What are you going to do? I think this is cute. Super adorable. This immediately tells me that it's a sweet treat for someone special. And that fills the white space or the open space so much better. I think the cupcake on the front is really cute. You could put another one on the back if you want. Okay, it's time to flip it into the middle, and now we're going to go ahead and decorate. Now, here once again with my leftover piece that I forgot to use, I could put it on the inside if I want. I think I actually might save that piece for a tag. So I'm going to just adhere the frame, just to keep with the color scheme, to the middle. And we'll glue this down and get the sentiment rolling. So as I finish up the card, I want to explain to you a couple things. Once again, anyone who comments on the actual event time for World Card Making Day will be eligible for a gift card, a $25 gift card to the Keep It Simple Paper Crafts website. So please make sure you get your comments in. Tell us what you thought of this demonstration. And then if you'll stick with us here in just a little bit, if it's World Card Making Day live, you're going to be joined by Barry on our design team. And he's going to do my other favorite kit, actually my more favorite kit, which is the freshly brewed coffee set. And this is also an adorable demonstration. So stick around with us after you're done making these 2 cards. In just a few minutes, he'll be coming up. And then you'll be able to craft along with Barry. Okay, and if you're watching this on replay, we hope you enjoyed this. And we hope that you'll check out the kits on our website so that you can make them along with us. We've really enjoyed having these assemble kits. Some of you may have even seen them at the expos. And just a little quick hint, this collection in full will be coming in 2025. So if you were a bee lover, keep your eye on the website because in early 2025, the bees will release in a full collection. Are you excited? Okay, I'm adding actually a couple more little polymer clay pieces to the front of my card just for a final flare of decoration. That's what's cool about the sprinkles. You can use them in the shaker or out. You just glue them on and you're set to go. So I want to thank you for joining me today. Once again, my name was Maureen. We really hope that you'll hit that subscribe button and subscribe to our videos here on YouTube for Keep It Simple Paper Crafts. Stay tuned because in a few minutes, Barry will be coming up with another kit. And we hope you have a really, really good World Card Making Day. Keep it simple. You are beautiful. Thanks for joining me.